What's going on, guys? This is John Zakari, and today I want to talk about the first day of E3 where we saw EA and Bethesda kicking off the show with both of their press conferences. But before I start, I do want to give mention to the Pulse shooting in Orlando that's been the major focus of the day. You even saw people wearing the rainbow ribbons at E3 in recognition. Truly a sad, unfortunate story, and I think I speak for most people in saying our thoughts are with all those affected. But let's talk about something not so horribly depressing, video games. I just want to touch on EA's conference real quick because I was totally bored by it, if I'm being honest. The highlight for me was surely Mass Effect Andromeda, but even with that, I was hoping to see raw gameplay for this title, but all we got was kind of this features trailer showing off what the game could look like. But I don't really put much faith into these types of displays if we're not seeing the actual game in action. And the thing I was most excited to see was any of the new Star Wars stuff, but we really didn't get much on that either. Sure, they announced that some studios were working on some games, but nothing to give us really any sense of what they were actually working on. And sure, Battlefield 1 looks good, but I didn't watch the big gameplay stream that happened separate, so I can't really talk about it. And of course, as always with EA, there was lots of sports stuff too, but I have zero interest in any of that stuff. So overall, EA's conference, at least in my opinion, stayed consistent and was totally boring to me once again. Now, if EA knows how to do a disappointing conference, then Bethesda certainly knows how to do an amazing one. Tons of announcements and gameplay displays that kicked off with the resurrecting of a long dormant franchise, and that's Quake. Like Doom, Quake played a major role in the history of first-person shooters, particularly multiplayer shooters. Now coming back as Quake Champions, it appears that we'll be getting a class-based game similar to the currently popular Overwatch. I'm sure they'll get a lot of flack for, quote, copying that style, but we didn't see any gameplay here, so it's really impossible to assume what the game will actually play like until that happens, but they did say we're going to get more at QuakeCon. We got a slew of updates for Bethesda's current games. Doom multiplayer is getting some new maps and game modes, but also single-player custom map additions are coming. It seems like the game's going to be offering up sort of a Mario Maker type setup, but instead of jumping on Goombas, you'll be ripping demons in half. I'm constantly impressed by what gamers are capable of doing with all these tools, and as I stated before, I haven't picked up the new Doom because I'd only be interested in playing the single player, but it seems like this will offer up a ton of single player content. Fallout 4 is also getting a bunch more DLC that appears to focus on customization. The workshop makes a return, you can build and customize your own vault, there's conveyor belts, this Nuka-Cola World theme park, all kinds of things. I've gotta say, especially after seeing all this, Bethesda really impresses me with their commitment to their games and how they continue to support them. And the big support announcement that caught me totally off guard was that Doom and Fallout 4 are both getting VR support with the HTC Vive, and that's coming in 2017. One of the reasons I found this particularly interesting is that there was a Doom demo on the Oculus, but as it appears now, Bethesda will be siding with Vive going forward. I don't know how attractive the new Doom in VR seems, at least to me. I feel like the speed would have me throwing up all over the place, but they did specifically mention that this would be like a tour of hell or something, so maybe with the Doom experience we won't be seeing the same type of gameplay that we see from the current Doom. But for Fallout 4, it seems like this is going to be straight up the full Fallout 4 game playable in VR. And with that being a slower paced, more immersive first-person experience, it makes perfect sense and it really interests me as well. Continuing in the vein of support, Elder Scrolls Online got some updates, even though they were kind of hard to focus on with the annoying as hell fangirl that was screaming in the crowd at practically every silent moment. But most notably, they're doing this Tamriel 1 thing where basically you can party up with people at different levels and quest in any part of the world, I guess. In a way, kind of lifting the level restrictions on all the content within the game. While I do get that people of different character levels have trouble playing these types of games together because lower level characters can't handle the higher level content, I still wonder how this will affect the sense of progression. I mean, allowing players in an RPG to go anywhere and fight anything pretty much immediately following the tutorial seems kind of weird, but we'll see. However, the big Elder Scrolls news was something many of us saw coming, and that's the remaster for Skyrim. I've got to say the upgrade looked really impressive when the current and last-gen console versions of the game were compared, but as someone who played the game on PC with visual upgrade mods, it didn't look that crazy or mind-blowing. Gotta love the whole God rays thing though. But I will say, if you were someone who wasn't able to play this on PC, or maybe you had the PS3 version, which was just a broken mess, you should definitely consider checking out this new version. It does look awesome. And this brings me to my favorite part of the show, and that was the, I guess, reboot of Prey. I mentioned in my E3 predictions video that the surprise I was waiting for was the announcement of Prey 2, which was a tease we got a few years ago, but the game was soon cancelled. This new take on the series seems to have more horror roots as you find yourself on a ship in space that gets invaded by, I guess, this mysterious alien threat. A lot happened in this trailer really quickly, so I'm not too sure about what happened. It seemed like you were some kind of experiment, as there were these people monitoring you through glass, and the character looked like he was kind of decaying over time. But while I wasn't clear about everything that was happening, it all looked awesome. And so far, this is totally my game of the show. I cannot wait to see more on this title. And Bethesda closed out the show with a gameplay demo for Dishonored 2, and we got to see some of the new abilities for the new playable character, Emily, which looked really cool and effective. But the thing that stood out to me was this time-traveling glass mechanism thing. People who watched the demo surely know what I'm talking about. But it was like this glass that you could look through to see the environment at a different time. In the demo, we were in a rundown building and were able to see what it looked like in its prime, and then boom, the character teleported into that time. And now when looking through the glass, saw the original time that they came from. I thought this was totally awesome. It seems like this could have all sorts of gameplay mechanics built around it. It's certainly another title I'm excited to get my hands on, and we don't have to wait too long as it's coming out on November 11th of this year. Also announced alongside the collector's edition of Dishonored 2, and I think this may be a time-sensitive thing, but all pre-orders will come with the Dishonored 1 Definitive Edition for free. So if you're intrigued at all by this franchise, now is definitely the time to jump in. So yeah, I thought the Bethesda presentation was awesome, EA's not so much, but I plan to keep doing quick updates like this as the show goes on. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and be sure to let me know your take on E3 so far in the comments. As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.